What's going on, Genius Nation? Welcome to a brand new day, a day that you've never seen before, a day that you will never see again. As I tell you, each and every day is a gift for you to open up and appreciate and take the opportunity of a brand new day. Welcome to the Daily Genius. I am Dr. Will, and as always, super excited that you are here connecting with us. In the comments, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. I'm here in the beautiful city of Phoenix, Arizona. I always just love to know where we are connecting from. So we're here inside our private Facebook group. I also have Instagram family here as well. And on Tuesdays, we like to do a segment that I call connecting the dots. And I like to always just share with you something that has helped me along in my journey. Good morning, Dr. Christy. Good morning, Dennis. Good morning, Davina. See you guys popping in there on our live feed. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. So we're on this journey of coming to you 365 days live inside the group. We're up to 190 straight days that we have been showing up live. Man, can you believe it? 190 days. Jacqueline, look at you. Thank you so much for popping in here. So on today, on this segment of Connecting the Dots, I want to talk with you about how to connect with high achievers, how to connect with high achievers, how to connect with mentors, coaches that you may want to coach you or mentor you. How do you do that? A lot of people always ask me, Dr. Will, how do you connect with these high influential individuals? How do you find yourselves in these spots? So I'm going to give you my recipe for doing that, right? So in order to do that, what you want to do is you want to reverse engineer and you want to think about the person you want to connect with. Now, how do we do that? Now, I want you to think about this person. If you're wanting to connect with an individual that you admire, an individual that you want to mentor you or coach you, I want you to think from their perspective. I want you to reverse engineer, right? So I want you to think as if you were them, right? I want you to think as if you were them. So if you were them, I want you to think that they've already have their life set, right? Because that's why you want to connect with them. They're doing something that you see appealing. They're doing something that impresses you. They're doing something where you feel as though you can get some value from it, right? So I want you to think from their perspective. Their day is probably already, I'm not going to even say probably, it is. It's already measured out, right? Once you start dealing with high achievers, their number one asset is their time. They protect their time like a bear protecting her new cubs, because it's not about money anymore. Because if you have a lot of money, what you don't have a lot of is time. What you don't have a lot of is time. So they guard their time. So I want you to reverse engineer and think about this. So this individual's day is already set. Their week is already set. So what you're trying to do is break into, right? You're trying to break into their rhythm. You're trying to break into their daily habits. So what's the best way to do that? Because at this point, it has to be worth their time. Listen to what I just said. It has to be worth their time. So when you reach out and you say to them, hey, I would love to take you out for a cup of coffee, or I would love to buy you lunch. I want you to think about that approach. Number one, they don't need you to buy them coffee. Number two, they don't need you to buy them lunch. Number three, for them to meet you for lunch, that means they have to break away from what they're doing, right? They got to break away from what they're doing. Whether it's a 20-minute drive, 30-minute drive, they got to drive to come see you to meet for lunch. Lunch is going to be about 2 hours. 2 hours plus the 30-minute drive there, 30-minute drive back. That's a 3-hour block. That's a 3-hour block. If the work day is 8 hours, That's almost 50% of their workday. I want you to think about this. That's almost 50% of their workday. 3 hours out of an 8-hour workday, that's almost 50%. So what would you be bringing to the table that would be worth them investing almost 50% of their day, right? So here's how we break in. So if you know anybody, and also let me give you this caveat as well. Stop asking people to pick their brain, right? Stop asking people to pick their brain, because they need their brain. When people ask me that, I need all of my brain. You can't pick my brain. I need all of my brain. I need all aspects of my brain. So no, you can't pick my brain, okay? So what am I going to bring to the table? So we're reverse engineering. Here's the best thing you can do. If you really have found somebody that you admire, somebody that you look up to, somebody that you really feel would be beneficial. Now, I want you to really ask yourself this. How do you know they could really help you out? Beyond them being successful, beyond them being rich, beyond them, how do you think they could really help you? Right? I want you to really think about this and get crystal clear. How do you think, if you haven't been able to clearly define how this individual can specifically help you in your business or whatever it is, if you can't specifically say how they can help you, it may be nice to meet them. It may be nice to, conversate with them. But I want you to really ask yourself, how can they really move the needle in my life? How can they really move the needle in my life? Okay? The next thing is, you want to ask yourself, how can I add value to them? How can I add value to them? And I want you, here's another serious question I want you to think about. How can I add value to them? And look at what you bring to the table. And if at that time, for this particular person, you can't add value, then it may not be a great connection right now. Go find the person, look at your skill set, look at your knowledge base, look at your resources, look at your connections. What are you going to bring to the table besides pulling from them, getting information from them? How is it going to be, once again, worth their time? How is it going to be worth their time? Because this is once again, this is the uphill battle that you're facing. You're wanting this individual to break away from whatever they're doing. And at this juncture, time is the most important asset. And so you got to make it worth their while. So I want you to think, number one, how can they really help you? Have you identified how they can help you? Because that's one of the questions they're going to ask. How can I serve you? How can I help you? And if you say, man, I just wanted to talk to you, one of the things, don't look for that opportunity and then get the opportunity and then ask them something that you could have Googled. You understand what I mean? You get the opportunity, right? And the best question you have is something that you could have Googled. You're wasting time. You're wasting time. And so you want to look at this opportunity as a once in a lifetime opportunity, and you don't want to waste it on anything that you can Google. Hey, what high school did you go to? What? You could have Googled that. You could have Googled that. More than likely, this individual, has some type of footprint on social media. All these questions and answers are maybe on their website, maybe on their Wikipedia, right? So you don't waste your time doing that. So how can they clearly help me? How can I clearly help them? And once you answer these two defining questions, I wouldn't reach out to anyone yet until how can they clearly help me, and how can I clearly help them? If I haven't answered these two questions, then there's some work that I need to do. There's still some work that I need to do. So this is whenever I want to connect with somebody, like I thoroughly research them and I want to know, like, let me give you an example like this. Just a sports analogy and just take the principle of it. So let's say I play football. Let's say I play football. And let's say my position is running back. It would be a waste of my time to pursue a meeting with LeBron James. Although he's a great athlete, beyond him telling me to work hard, beyond him telling me to be dedicated, beyond him telling me to be committed, he plays a whole different sport. I need to find someone that has played my sport and played my position if I really want to maximize that. If I'm trying to get into the league, if I'm trying to get right, that's who. Now, if I want to learn about business and how he built his team, that's another thing, right? Once again, how do you want them specifically to help you? And you should practice this, like literally practice this. Pick individuals. Like I know it's appealing to, hey, I just want to meet this athlete. Hey, I want to meet this actor. Hey, I want to meet this business person. I know it's appealing to want to do that, but at this juncture, you don't want to waste time. You want to really think about it. How can they really help you? If not, you're gonna walk away and you're gonna be in the same place that you were. Maybe you walk away with a picture, but at the end of the day, what is that gonna do for you? And so if you really want to connect with high influential people, number one, figure out how they can really help you. And number two, figure out how you can help them. And so now the conversation is like this. You reaching out to them, you're able to tell them, hey, I have watched you, studied you, learned from you. If they have a book, I've read your book. If they have a course, I've taken your course, whatever. And this is how I believe you can be a benefit to me. And then this is what I do, and I would be willing to do this for you. And sometimes if you have a service, like for instance, I have a client and we were working on building his clientele. And he wanted to work with high influential people. I said, okay, this is the service that you provide. Just go do it. Just go do it for them. And then send it to them and say, hey, this is the caliber of work that I do. If you ever need someone to do this type of work for you, I'm available. He did it, the work up front, wasn't charging them. He just took their stuff and said, here's what I can do. And he sent it to them and they were blown away and they started hiring him because he already showed his value. He already showed his value. So how can you show your value? How can you show your value up front? Right? How can you show your value up front? If you're a web designer, go to a couple of people, do a front page and say, hey, I've looked at your website. I think if you had a page like this, it would draw more traffic. If you ever want to update your website, please reach out to me. Boom. So show your value up front, because at the end of the day, once again, you're fighting against their time. And then here's the other thing. If you think that they are accomplished and you think they would be a good mentor or a good coach, how many other people do you think that? So let's just look at this one more time as we get ready to close. If 10 people said, hey, can I take you out to lunch? Remember, it's 3 hours per lunch. And if 10 people, that's 30 hours. That's over a day. That's over a day of time that you're asking this individual to step away from what they do on a day-to-day basis. So not only are you asking, but you best believe that there's other people asking. And so not only are you competing for their time, you're competing against the other people that are trying to get their time as well. So these are just a couple of nuggets over the years that I've used. I've always clearly defined, if I believe they can truly help me, how can I help them, right? And then add value up front. If you do these three things, you'll have a higher probability of connecting with highly successful individuals. All right, guys, as I always tell you, go out there and be your brilliant, amazing, genius self. Make someone else smile and laugh as you make yourself smile and laugh. Go out there and dominate the day, and I'll see you tomorrow for the Daily Genius.